Great. Okay. So I was having this question kind of percolate before the call, and then I really was enjoying the opening conversation about the movement and it just being evidence to us how quickly or not quickly we're moving through things. And I'm having this experience, this like tangible, visceral experience right here, right now in this moment. So my question is really about the wellness of our mind, body, and spirit. And like, if we focus on one, can it be impacting the others? For example, today I've been really intentional about my morning and how I'm interacting in the world and tending to myself, my inner, more my spiritual self. And I feel an immense amount of movement through my body, but I'm not moving my body really, but I feel like it is. And so, yeah, what can you share on that?
Everything at all times oscillates within you. The movement of energy is always within you. Anything you give your attention to provides you with to see and witness that movement as you go into the focus and then unfocus, into variety observation and then integration and releasing of that. That is that most satisfying dance that you have. That is that keeps that balance between what you call mind and body and soul all together. So when there is an intellectual activity that allows you to see that providing of that question and variety observation, you see that mind through your physical senses, using your physical senses, mind is driving to observe, like a flashlight of your mind is driving you to observe this situation and this situation and this situation and this situation, and based off of those situations to start making preferences. But then going back and allowing yourself to see that from everything that exists perspective, or which you call from soul perspective. There is no difference in using any term. Godlike perspective, divine perspective, broader, wider, everything that exists, source perspective. Dominantly, at that moment you're dancing, you can really even easily, we have not used these words before, you can say that you're constantly dancing between what your mind directs your senses and then allow your spirit to see from different perspective. In other words, you see it from a perspective of physicality, focus, and mind, and then see it from perspective of everything that exists. And sometimes your mind can be tricky. Sometimes your mind goes within the choices of similar choices, often in the same direction. It goes in those, and a lot of things based off of your mind may not be really true. A lot of them based off of the question vibration are not true until you see it in everything that exists part of you, and then you can see which things or what was your mind playing tricks on based off of the choices that were coming because of what you were wanting, or sometimes staying based and focused on what is more and more variety that clarifies what you're wanting. So as you go into that dance between the mind being focused and unfocusing mind to see things more from a perspective of soul, and then narrowing it down in specific based off of the flashlight of your mind and going back to general in your soul, you can say that mind based off of observation will go there, and as it observes, see those clear specific things that will cause variety, and then allow into that wider perspective for you to receive ideas about the next step where you want to give your attention. So moment by moment, mind, spirit, and your body being a vessel that facilitates it all. Your body being a vessel that allows through sensory system for you to go through the mind and to experience, to allow the mind to see it through the sense of hearing, through the sense of seeing, through the sense of smelling, tasting, or touching. All of those beautiful experiences moving moment by moment, and then allowing yourself to, through your body, feel the sensation of ease when you start unfocusing the mind and allow your body to be dominant in a way of relaxation. We can really experience that life force, that life joy, that life energy that is coming through you, that then you're allowing yourself to see it from that perspective. But in either of those, you do not want to stay for too long, or for the bigger amounts of time where you're just focused or just unfocused, when you're just using your mind or just spending time with the what you call dominantly experiencing spirit, because all of it is all times together. Even now, Kosta is allowing all of these reflections of you to come through you, these words that you always have access to, and sometimes you don't hear them in this way, and this energy exchange coming through, him allowing from this place of ease and restfulness and satisfaction and bliss, and again ease and some more restfulness and then some more bliss, allowing that place for you to see this and allowing it to see it through his body, allowing his body vessel to now be dominantly in what you call spirit or soul or divine or godlike or God vibration, source vibration, talking directly through you. And then there are moments where at some point he will go and resume the focus about his own thoughts. His thoughts are now in the fade out, and so are yours every time that you're having this experience of ease, relaxation, and so much more physical bliss that you're experiencing. So your mind being this beautiful vessel to have you sift and sort and organize and clarify through variety and choose, make your preferences, and then allowing your body from those sensors being turned outwards to allow those sensors to really relax and take a little bit of unfocused time, so then you can really feel that clarity and that vastness of everything that exists, which you called movement through your body without really moving your body or moving your physicality of your limbs and joints and everything that comes with your movement. So we want to bring to your attention that the balance within all of those, when your focus spends your time, when your life force is directed outwards through your mind, or then allowed to be felt inwards through your body, is what's always the balance we're talking about. Your mind, body, spirit balance, at all times, all of them being included, at all times, all of them being active. At this moment, Kosta's mind is active because there is something being received. He's not really out of his mind, even though he is a little bit more out of his mind, but not completely, because if he was to be completely out of his mind, he would not be physically focused. So as you're physically focused, you can get to those wider and wider and wider and broader perspectives, but never so much so that you're not physical. But that dance between that vastness and broadness and that variety that's so specifically observed is that beautiful question answer dance we talk about, and that creation process, that it's always in balance, and it's just for you to see where are you spending currently time, mostly time at. Are you currently staying and overdoing your intellectual part of your mind observation, or you're allowing those observations or that content that is being impressed on you by your observation to integrate and give you the next stimulation for you to observe again. This is really what balance means.
Okay, so talking about that mind balance then, so I spent probably a good year very dominantly in the unfocused place. And then there's been some months now where I've been probably dominantly focused, and I'm in the process of allowing myself to be there and feeling okay with that. But now I'm kind of moving into the more dominantly unfocused. And so really it's just the balance of it all, that there is that oscillation, that even up and down.
As you're talking about these things, if you look at it from a perspective of a year, saying that that's dominant, that means that dominantly within that time you were just physically, you were aware of mostly your dominant physical focus outwards, and then now you're bringing it back in for another year. And then, but we want to bring to your attention that this, what you take as a yearly or quarterly or semi-annually statements about your steadiness is not really as valid as it is moment by moment experience. So you want to find those experiences throughout the day. You want to catch yourself through your sensitivity when you're observing too much early, so you can say, now I'm getting at this point of too much focus, and I think it will be time for me to redirect and allow myself to go and integrate. And that's the time where you find yourself throughout the day taking a couple of moments for yourself, allowing yourself to go and bring everything that exists to be dominant within you. And once you see it from that perspective, that feeling of not so comfortable moment of observation of the variety dissipated, and now you're ready to see what is the next one that will allow you to see more of that everything that exists, and the next observation for more of everything that exists. And having intellectual activities to allow you to sift and sort. Everything that you give your attention to is intellectual activity. Everything that you give attention to bring impression into your mind, and therefore brings impression into your thoughts. But it is only when you try to hold on and to see how much of that impression and that content and that information that you're observing you can handle is where you can ever get overwhelmed by the focus. Once you are so much in control of your tipping points of creation, which is as you observe something, you direct it back into integration, and as you feel like you're steady in your ease, reintegrated and redirected back to question, then you really moment by moment know how much you want to stay in each, and then you never really make statistics of dominantly this or dominantly that feeling, because you understand that they're equally important, that they're equally satisfying, and that it's only in the tipping points when you feel like you have control, when you really can dominantly feel that everything that exists is present in all parts of the creation process as it always is.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you.